I'll continue. When the leather belt slaps the flesh, don't you know it is just what I thought? The damn thing is hollow, it follows. Then, that is when the belt hits that calf ripe with muscle, it makes a great donging sound like the resounding belch of a great bell, whose gullet wakes up every false friar mired in the morass of a hell of boiling molasses. What a dong, what song let riot on the air. What a deep bassoon note metallic on the fratricidal air, impaired with great narcotic draughts of cocaine elixir, the hexagrams drawn over the vision, Stygian stencil, rattling with the sound of this great metal clapping, this frigid, frozen dong, resounding like a gavel clap, snapping in air of morbid astonishment, the great blush on the cheeks of an air slapped rudely by a syllable august, this call to supper serpentine, snakes wavy in choo-choo train flavored gravy, dinner bell for repasts aghast, with a nutriment like a flourishment of seraphic bacteria in wisteria, rapine, and gruesome growth, emotive as mopey stones in tantric elopement, concupiscent, kinkily redundant. The lazy boy, sitting in the corner, won't lift a finger for this bed, dying like a hog not 2 feet from his snoozing nose. Achoo go you, you dog, go on. Slog through the element that encases you. You're going nowhere soon. You and the crew of losers who can't be bothered to stand upright like a man. You constipated snail. Go hail down a taxi to drive you to the restroom. You plume of steam rising from a pool of filth. You slobbering zilch of a cipher nullified. My spryness spells your demise. You're too lazy to exist. You should have your wrists soldered together such that you are always in the act of supplication. You should repent this instant for the flesh you have been given. You who fear commotion because there is motion in it, and you hate stillness because there is isness in it. Fakir gourmands, those who stuff themselves on gourds and cherries and make fellatio Horatios of hypoallergenic philosophy, Phyllis Sisyphean in their sycophantic labors, the slavishness of their slobby ways, the mainstays of the horror of their morbid eschatologies of cattywampus catastrophe in repose. Spray the lazy with hoses. Get them up off their slow moseying. The funk halitosis of their sedentary breath, the tepid cowpond of their dying minds, autopsied by some marm named Mildred Biopsy, 109 years old, face all folded up, body thin, no more estrogen, with the slapping dong of the leather against the leg of the bed. At the very extremity of its existence, there is, as I just said, a sound of hollow profundity. That is to say, the dong corresponds to the great vacuity in monstrous superfluities, like great empty basins squared and stored one on another inside this calf, whose insides are mapped with the cartography of the wild, of empty spaces intricate, their spider leg this way and that, the spliced trajectories of so many tunnels running with nothingness in capillaries of starry candy delicacy, eggshell ethereal but micro-miniaturized down to astonishingly tiny sizes. Having taken his belt leads to an unseemly scene. OK Boomer standing there with his pants down, dressed in a pair of octopus underwear, its suction cups stuck deep up beneath him, the tentacles of its nauseatingly slick body hugging the underbutt of his body, his wad tucked beneath the fresh, chewy fish meat of his wad tucked beneath the fresh, chewy fish meat of rubber band bonanza and lewd cup, making awful schlupping thucking sounds as it releases OK Boomer's inner thighs, and the shipwreck of his ass is like the very thick warped glass in the fashion of its frozen flow, and the whole scene goes all melodious backwards at once when some dunce in the back of the hall calls for a doctor when it is I who see what is the matter. It is I who see what is the matter, and I go down on my knees and examine one of the legs, poking it with my finger and letting my eyes linger drill like on the flesh, it being as hollow as a balloon and as soft to the touch as an iron bell, as malleable, as crushable with the fingers as a slab of cold iron. And I yell and sign for the love of stovetops, if only I had some stuffing. A fat man named Uncle Ben Real alights on the scene and opens a closet door, revealing the blue, red, silver, and black gore inside. A machine. Well, I should go to hit pause here. I'll go to number 3.